I also produced an exclusive BitChute video called The Emerging Prison Planet, in which I talk about the Fourth Industrial Revolution. I'm going to include an extended excerpt from that video now. I found this video by Gulf State Analytics very interesting.
As the digital, physical, and biological worlds continue fusing together against the backdrop of innovation in artificial intelligence, the world is experiencing the Fourth Industrial Revolution.
I gotta say, it doesn't sound like a revolution I'm going to enjoy all that much.
Advanced wireless technologies, autonomous vehicles, 3D printing, commercial drones, and fintech all serve to open new areas for creativity, innovation, efficiency, and economic growth.
I really don't like these autonomous vehicles. I want the freedom to drive my own car.
In fact, some experts estimate that up to 80% of existing jobs will be automated by the Fourth Industrial Revolution.
By the Fourth Industrial Revolution. She has an unusual way of finishing her sentences. Anyway, this is the problem, isn't it? What exactly happens to all of those people who are made redundant by machines? You're going to have mass unemployment, so how do they feed themselves? You see, this Fourth Industrial Revolution sounds more and more like technology-enabled communism. This utopian notion that we'll all just have infinite amounts of resources because the machines will make all our food and clothing for us and we'll just have all this leisure time. It's never worked in the past, and I suspect it won't work in the future. I don't think humanity wants to live like zoo animals in smart cities, being fed scraps by AI overlords.
The impact of this transition will reach all countries of the world, bringing opportunities as well as major challenges that could threaten to unleash political, social, and economic instability.
Yeah, so why are we doing it again? Why are we trying to make human beings essentially obsolete?
The coronavirus pandemic, however, is hotwiring the Fourth Industrial Revolution. The COVID-19 crisis will highlight how countries which began embracing next-generation technologies are set to adapt more easily to ongoing changes, as this disease represents a major paradigm shift.
It's a major paradigm shift, and here I was thinking it was just a virus that we had to do lockdown for a few weeks, shelter in place, flatten the curve, socially distance for a bit, and then we just go back to normal, right? After the vaccine or something. But apparently, the whole world has to change for this virus. Human society is being catapulted into the Fourth Industrial Revolution, and it's almost as if, well, a paranoid person might think that the virus has been some kind of excuse or a MacGuffin that is being used to usher in this new era for humanity.
As the pandemic rushes the world into the future of digitization at a faster rate, the Gulf states are in a comparatively strong position to make this transition smoothly.
But why do we have to make this transition at all? I mean, why is it necessary? Why does the world have to be rushed into this new digitized future? Why can't the people decide to just go back to the way things were and live their lives the way they did before? You know, it's almost like certain vested interest groups wanted to change our societies and economies, and the virus is the means by which they begin to normalize an entirely new paradigm for humanity, to acclimatize us to the new normal and widespread changes to our social behavior. It's just interesting, isn't it? Here's an interesting article from CNN, actually. Our cities may never look the same again after the pandemic. From Auckland to Bogota, urban planners are already adapting our cities to lockdown. But will the changes last? And which more radical design proposals, be it sewer monitors or epidemic skyscrapers, will shape the post-pandemic city? Yet more talk about how things aren't going back to normal. For advocates of walkable, unpolluted and vehicle-free cities, the past few weeks have offered an unprecedented opportunity to test the ideas they have long lobbied for. Well, isn't it just so convenient that a global virus came along in order to help facilitate this unprecedented opportunity, given the lockdown and everything, and give such people a taste of the kind of walkable, unpolluted, and vehicle-free cities that they've long lobbied for? With COVID-19 lockdowns vastly reducing the use of roads and public transit systems, City authorities from Liverpool to Lima are taking advantage by closing streets to cars, opening others to bicycles, and widening sidewalks to help residents maintain the 6-foot distancing recommended by global health authorities. Czech firm Hua Architects has meanwhile proposed a gastro-safe zone, pictured top, which uses brightly coloured ground markings to encourage passers-by to keep their distance from al fresco diners. And in Milan, one of the cities worst hit by COVID-19, designer Antonio Lanzello has envisaged public benches equipped with plexiglass shield dividers. Here's some examples. Unreal. So looks like cities are going to become even more impersonal places. Less social trust, more fear and anxiety about a disease, by the way, which once again is no more deadly than the seasonal influenza. But let's just go ahead and change absolutely everything anyway. And look at this photograph. I mean, they're at a socially distant table, right? This guy's drinking coffee while wearing a mask, of course. That makes logical sense. Does anyone else think that the future is basically City 17 from Half-Life 2? Other ideas have ranged from self-disinfecting smart elevators to door handles that can be easily operated with elbows rather than hands. It is too soon to know which, if any, may be realized, but each idea suggests that the practice of social distancing and unease over shared surfaces could continue long after the current crisis. And that has been my biggest worry in all of this. If they do, the widely publicized 6-foot distancing guidelines could redefine the layout and spacing of new public facilities, according to Northwestern University's Sarah Jensen Carr, whose forthcoming book, The Topography of Wellness, considers how urban landscapes have been transformed by epidemics like cholera, tuberculosis, and obesity. So 6 foot could be the new unit we use when we think about cities and public parks. The caption on this photo says it all. A desire to distance ourselves from others in public may continue long after the pandemic. This next clip is from Eyewitness News ABC 7 New York.
Now, another popular spot, Domino Park in Williamsburg, where they've taken the added measure of actually drawing circles 6 feet apart so that people who come to the park can stay within a safe zone. That being painted there on the artificial grass there in Domino Park.
Would you really want to live like this? I mean, this is like a parody, but it's real life. You're going out trying to be genuinely social and amongst other people while sitting within designated social distancing circles, what are effectively dehumanizing parking spaces for human beings. These spaces are not designed to be temporary. Think of the widespread and truly disturbing changes that the social engineers have brought about in just a few weeks that have fundamentally upended our society and potentially permanently modified foundational aspects of human behavior. We're a tactile, physical, and social animal that evolved to herd together in groups, thus creating social bonds of trust while also spreading healthy bacteria, germs, and shared viruses that help to promote a healthy immune system. All of this is now gone, or potentially illegal, it seems. Here's an article from ITV.com in the UK. Take a look. First images released of social distancing markings to be used in Birmingham. Images have been released showing what one of the first pavement markings and signage schemes is to be used in the country could look like. The markings are designed to guide the public on how to follow social distancing and are to be launched on Broad Street in Birmingham. Two-way markings stretching 100 metres are to be laid from the junctions of Gas Street and all along Broad Street to Berkeley Street.